Hey you guys, welcome back. Can y'all believe that 2016 is almost over? I feel like this year has just actually passed me by. It's gone by so fast. There were parts that were a little slow, which I'll dive into in a few minutes, but really it's been just a banner year for the Style Scribe and for my life. I mean, there's so many fun things that have happened. I've gone to some really cool places. I've met really awesome people, partnered with amazing brands. I've hit some of my biggest goals that I set for myself this time last year, which, I mean, that's always great. So I thought it might be fun to do a little mini series on YouTube to sort of bookend 2016, share my favorite moments, my favorite products that I picked up throughout the year. And then at the end, I'll share my resolutions and goals for 2017. So this video, I'm going to share my 10 favorite moments of the last year, and I'm going to try and go in order, so I have a list to stick to, and I may end up looking at it from time to time, so don't blame me. But anyway, so I'm going to go through that first, and then I'll do a video tomorrow and a video on Saturday to really get 2017 off to a good start. And you'll find out that one of my resolutions is to make even more videos on here, and so this is sort of my way of doing that and starting off on a high note. So let's get started. The first highlight that comes to mind is definitely hiring my first employee in January. So if you haven't been following me for that long, I actually started my blog in January 2011. So it'll be 6 years this month, basically, which is crazy to think about, but I guess time flies when you're having fun. But up until November of last year, I really didn't feel like I needed help. I gave 100% to my blog. I've never really taken a day off in terms of like not posting. I post almost every day. I have my newsletter, I have Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Snapchat, now YouTube. And on top of that, there are collaborations that also happen. And during the holidays, that sort of tends to snowball because in addition to all of the content you're already creating, like gift guides and outfit posts, you also have to create collaboration content when brands want to work with you. And so about that time last year, I was starting to panic because I didn't have time to do everything that I wanted to do. Like Twitter kind of fell on the wayside, Facebook fell on the wayside. I stopped pinning as frequently as I was doing because I just didn't have time. I was focusing more on the content side and not on promoting the content. So I decided to hire somebody, and I've really just had an intern since last year, which has been great, but I'm definitely ready to kind of invest in more as far as somebody who can take things over for me so I can really focus on creating videos and creating more blog content and focusing on creating more content specifically for social channels like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And so what I'm hoping my new person will be doing is focusing on the back end of stuff, scheduling, maintaining my editorial calendar, all that kind of stuff. So it's been great having somebody to bounce ideas off of and all of that. And I really feel like it's helped me grow. As far as a business owner goes, I've really had to learn accounting stuff and all of that. But looking forward to this next step, hiring somebody else who will eventually be full-time. So that's sort of a big thing for me that happened this year. The second big moment of 2016 was absolutely buying my first house. I was naive going into it thinking I'd find exactly what I was looking for in my price range. I'm a dum-dum, but I found the cutest house. It's just not big enough. So I'm adding on right now. You've probably seen updates on Snapchat. It's quite an undertaking, but I think I could do it. Hopefully my stress won't consume me. But from when we signed the contract at the beginning of November, at the end of October, they said it would be done in 6 months, which everyone is telling me, oh, that's not gonna happen. And that may not be true, but it's going pretty fast, so I have high hopes for it. If you do follow on Snapchat, you've seen a ton of progress videos and photos. I go by every week and something has sprouted up miraculously. And I'm just loving the progress. It's getting me so excited to make the house my own. I can't wait to share more of it with you. But that was definitely a huge life moment for me this year. If you weren't following me on Instagram or Snapchat in April, you may have missed this. But one of my favorite things that I did this year was actually host the Diptyque store opening at North Park in Dallas. I am obsessed with the fragrances and candles from Diptyque. I've been a longtime fan of them, and so I was so excited to partner with them, and even more excited with how great the turnout was at the event. You may have seen some snaps with my readers and followers on there, but almost all of them said something about Snapchat, which made me so happy. And it was like one of those days where I actually felt like I'd made it, because people were so nice and actually did follow me. And with events, you know, you never know who's gonna show up, so it's always sort of like, oh no, is anyone gonna come to this event? And I had such a great turnout. It was so exciting. So thank you to any of you who showed up, but it was a huge moment for me last year, getting to meet y'all and connect with y'all and hopefully introduce you to some Diptyque stuff, because it's my fave. Another one of my favorite things I did this year was start BBG. If you follow me on Snapchat, you've definitely heard me talk about it. I've done a couple of blog posts on the subject as well, but it's the Bikini Body Guide by Kayla Itsinas, who is a personal trainer out of Australia. And she created this 12-week guide to kick your ass and get you into shape. And I actually discovered it when I was in the black hole of Instagram perusing, and discovered the BBG hashtags. There's hashtag BBG community and hashtag BBG progress. And on there, real women and some men too post their progress photos of doing this workout. And I swear y'all, it works. And I even posted my own transformation photo on Snapchat a few months ago. And it's really the only workout that I've done and stuck to that I've enjoyed, and that I've really seen real progress from, and almost immediately too. And I've always really worked out. Ever since the beginning of college, I consistently work out. It's more my diet that needs assistance. But BBG has really changed my thinking in a way for working out. I love challenging myself. It's definitely a new challenge every week. Every day is different. It's a different set of circuits and workouts, so you never get bored, but you're always challenging yourself and pushing yourself to the limit. And my body looks way better than it did. Let me just say that. But it's really, really, really effective. So if you are interested in trying something new in the new year, might I suggest a little BBG? One of my favorite trips this year was to Carmel with my blogger besties, Rachel, Emily, and Mara. I don't get to see them very often because they live in Utah and California, and we used to see each other at blogging conferences and at Fashion Week, but with them having babies and schedules being crazy, it's hard to all be at the same place at the same time unless you plan it specifically. So last year we decided to plan a girls trip, and it was just what we needed. It was so much fun getting to spend time with them and not have to worry about going to blogger events. It was just a really relaxed trip. We went to the spa, we walked on the beach, we ate great food, saw the sights, and it was just so much fun. And blogging has brought so many great friendships into my life, so whenever I can celebrate those, I want to do it. So, miss you guys. Another really amazing trip I went on this year was to Alaska with Celebrity Cruises. This is not sponsored, but the trip was, so thank you for that. But I actually went to Alaska back in 2010 and I either didn't take any photos or didn't save or print them out because I'm a dumb. So I was really excited to get invited back so I could take photos and really capture the moment. And I took Allison, my intern, because all of my friends work full-time in Dallas, and because it's a work trip and I wanted to get really great photos. But the weather turned out beautiful and we got lots of great photos. It was really cool seeing what was going on the ship and in the different ports. But that was just a really unique opportunity that I hadn't had a chance to do yet. So I was really, really excited to partake in that. Another milestone I was really excited about this year was going backstage at New York Fashion Week. I've really gone to New York Fashion Week since I started my blog, or at least a year after I started my blog. I went for the first time, I think it was February 2012. But up until this point, I'd just gone to shows and events and stuff. And so going backstage was a huge, exciting time for me. I went backstage with Mary Kay at 2 shows. I went to Lila Rose, which is one of my all-time favorites, as you know, if you follow my blog. And then I went backstage at Tracy Reese as well. And it was just such a fun opportunity to see the makeup artist in action, see how the styling for the outfits was going. At Lilo, we saw the photo shoots for what was going to end up on Vogue Runway happening. It's just kind of surreal, especially even if you've worked in the fashion industry. There's so much more going on behind the scenes than you would ever imagine. So that was a really, really cool experience. A new thing that I did this year that I'm hoping to do more of, that I'm very excited about, was featuring my mom. So I did a partnership with Jay McLaughlin, and they made a suggestion to incorporate my mom since I was planning on shooting the project in Austin. And I thought that was a great idea because I do know that I have quite a bit of people her age and near her age that follow my blog. So I definitely want to make sure I am pleasing that audience too. But we had such a good time shooting it, and I had a great response and great feedback from that post. So I definitely want to incorporate her more if she'd be so willing. So Mom, get ready. One of the craziest things I did, but equally awesome this year, was go to Japan and Hong Kong with Jess of Bows and Sequins. I texted her in July because I had an itch to travel. I looked at my calendar and there was not a single trip planned anywhere, which I guess is fine. I don't like to be in one place for a really long time. So I texted her and said, would you be interested in joining me on a trip? She said yes. I had suggested Japan, she suggested Hong Kong, so we put them together and then jetted off in November. And we were gone for about 2 weeks. Japan was my absolute favorite. I loved every minute of it, dying to go back. And I had so much fun traveling with her. She is so much fun. She's hilarious. And I think we are great travel buddies. So hopefully we'll plan something this next year. But loved that trip. The last big moment of 2016 was definitely hitting my #1 goal that I set for myself in this blog this year for business stuff. And I hit it earlier than I thought I would. But what's so crazy is I set it for myself thinking, oh, that's impossible. Like, there's no way I'm going to double my business this year. And I did. So I'm really excited about that. One, because all my hard work is paying off, and I'm really excited to be growing this business and add somebody new to the team who can help me with more, so I can create even more content for you guys. But it's just great to set goals for yourself and really see those come through. With hard work, things do come to fruition. So really excited about that. But those are sort of the 10 moments that really speak to me from 2016. And in the next video, I'm going to share my 10 favorite purchases from 2016, and I will post that video tomorrow. So check back in for that, and be sure to subscribe if you will, and share my channel with your buddies. I will see you guys then. Bye.